Andrew with the $188 donation, rounding us up to 1,500. There's gotta be a message with that one. Let's read it for the chat. God damn it. Oh. Well, I mean, we can get anything on a playmat. Inked Gaming is one of my sponsors. I can get anything on a playmat. Inked would hook me up. I think the Santa Keep, it's got a basic and a border post in it, right? Stream Decker, thank you. Thank you very much. Can we get more people to show up in owl costumes? Oh, they already have a pre whatever. Foxocon with the $20 donation. I want to watch you spend 12 hours in an owl costume. God bless. This is for the Milwaukee Open, April 7th and the 8th. So, I really like the idea of Restore Balance as a deck. I think this deck's got some really sweet things going on and it's pretty powerful overall. I think one of the biggest problems with this deck, and we'll see if we run into this issue in the league today, is that this deck takes a lot of splash hate. This deck takes a lot of splash hate from decks like Affinity and Lantern and Eggs just top 8 of the GP2 being things that see play. The $2,000 goal, the extra 500 is going to be the 12-hour stream in the owl costume. So, looks like we're playing against... The Cinderglade is throwing me. It's probably Ponza. But the Cinderglade is kind of giving me a loop here. So, am I supposed to do this turn? I feel like I'm not, right? This needs to be a red source. I think I'm supposed to at least get the Thassa into play, right? I think we need some way to get ahead here. Restore Balance often plays Cascade cards. Cascade cards are pretty stock. What is that icon supposed to be, JMP? Okay, it's the Bloodbraid Elf. The Utopia Sprawl. That's kind of annoying because it's something that our Restore Balance doesn't clear away. Are they not playing Blood Moon? Putting the Utopia Sprawl on the Cinderglade seems to imply they're not playing Blood Moon. So I think we're going to go Flooded, Plains, cast Nahiri. I get to Scry here. Definitely don't want to draw Restore Balance. Not interested in that. I might just be afraid of land destruction. That's fair. That's fair. So I'm going to push her up to 6. I'm going to ban this Leyline that I definitely don't need in this matchup. We have 2 As Foretold in our deck. 2 copies of As Foretold. They have another Bloodbraid. I feel a little bit bad playing the Nahiri out, but at the same time, it's like, I guess they could have a Bolt here too. We did at least get to cycle her. If they commit more to the board, it makes our Violent Outburst into Restore Balance better. Oh, I forgot to fetch the second blue source. Yeah, that was a punt. I just assumed I had all my colors. Yeah, I definitely should have fetched a second blue source. The reason why I didn't fetch a second blue source is because I wasn't paying attention. For those that are wondering, there isn't some greater strategic value there. It's I was reading chat and then not paying attention. Well, that's unfortunate, because now I don't have a red source either. I can't cast this anymore. Ad Nauseam had a rough day. We mostly crashed and burned. Okay, we're down to 9. Get a scry here with this. Bottom that. 2 border posts. That's pretty good for us. So this is also another blue source, which is great. So pick this up. Yeah, but I don't have a, it's green and red. So like I need a second green or red source. All right, so the fact that we drew 2 border posts there means next turn we get to Violent Outburst and kill their lands, which is great. Yeah, I'm not going to replay the land because I just want to get their whole board. So some people are asking, what's the point of this deck? What does it do? The point of this deck is we cast a Cascade card and we find the card Restore Balance, which basically equalizes the number of lands and cards in hand both players have. So our opponent and creatures. So our opponent's going to lose their entire board. We're going to keep our border posts and our Thassa, and we're going to have to discard down to 1 card in our hand. But I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Ideally, we draw a border post for the turn here, so we can have another mana source in play, but if we don't, we don't. Yeah, keeping Jace is the plan. Keeping Jace is the plan for sure. I'm gonna bottom that, looking for a border post. Yep, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make this. So cast this. We'll cascade into Restore Balance. And then, so Restore Balance notably doesn't affect planeswalkers, enchantments, or artifacts. It's only creatures, lands, and hand size. So I don't have any creatures, so they're going to lose all their creatures. I don't have any lands, so they're going to lose all of their lands. And then they only have 1 card in their hand, so we're going to have to discard down to 1 card in our hand. So I'm going to keep the Jace, because we just need 1 blue source to cast him. All my creatures get 1 attack. Your move, Yugi boy. Your move. Oh, I could cascade in their draw step to keep 1 more card. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for the suggestion. Yes, I get to keep 1 more card, and I got to keep my basic island to cast the Jace this turn. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm gonna keep that As Foretold here, actually. I think that's fine. Yeah, so thank you for that suggestion. As always, if you see something that I've messed up, you should definitely point it out. I do appreciate that. Constructive criticism, constructive, specific criticism is welcome. So don't just say, you know, you're an idiot, your timing sucked. Say, you should do it. All right. We're looking for a land, but we'll suspend that for now, I guess. We have no lands. Is the Ponza player winning? Asking the real questions. Oh no, they have a 1-drop? What a tilt. I can actually just cast this, right? So I'm gonna top that. What's going on, Apprentice? Never forget that you can cast these for mana. You don't just have to pay 1 and pick up a basic land. So next turn we'll cast a Jace. So there's a Gargantuan, so you can sacrifice your lands to the Gargantuan to wipe all of your opponent's lands out. That's the reason he's there. So we can sacrifice. Oh, also, yeah, Thassa's about to be a creature too. I'm gonna keep that because it kills their land, right? I can cast it off As Foretold. This is so great. This is just like the old flawless victory, right? They're gonna have no cards in their hand too. They discard down to, oh no, wait, this kills Thassa, right? This kills Thassa. Oh no, oh no. I missed attacking. No, come back, opponent. Come back. I wasn't done winning. I wasn't done winning. I wanted to get all of the cards out of their hand. I wanted to get all of their cards out of their hand. It's just so rude. So rude. I wasn't done winning and then they conceded. Alright, so I want these Simian Spirit Guides. What else? What else do I want? Spells that target Ghirapur which you control. Is Monastery Siege good? This is the anti-owl deck. Alright, I think the Spirit Guide is good because they're going to be hitting our lands. Do they even want to hit our lands? I could have won more, but you didn't let me fate seal you out of the game. I don't understand. I don't understand. Why didn't you let me fate seal you, opponent? I just wanted to seal your fate. This deck's a hoot. It's got a lot of fun stuff going on in it. It's got a lot of fun stuff going on in it. Pretty easy mulligan here. The Emrakul and the open. I guess it's missing a third mana source, right? It's missing a third mana source. And like the Emrakul makes it bad. It's kind of appealing because it has like colored sources to cast Ardent Plea. Can I make custom cheers for my channel? Is that a thing I can do? I feel like maybe I can do that and I haven't looked into it. Yeah, so like it's already 6 with Emrakul, but like, is it a good 6? It's probably not a good 6 without a scry. Yeah, see, this is the risky business you run. Because this deck doesn't actually have that many lands in it. Bottom this, we're looking for border posts here mostly. How do you walk the line of self-respect and chat throwing money at you? Very carefully. Is there a goal after 2000? I don't know the answer to that question. I feel like I don't. Well, so like, turn 2 Outburst could shore the hand sizes back up, right? It depends on what they have in play. Depends on what they have in play. Thank you for the link. I'll open that in the background and take a look at it later. Thank you to everyone who's hanging out here today. I do appreciate it. There's been a lot of messages in the chat. I'm trying to keep up with them. You know, there's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your day here with us while we play some Magic the Gathering. Yes, the 12-hour stream will be in the owl costume. I don't have any tattoos and I don't intend to start. I have 0 tattoos and don't intend to invest in any anytime soon. It's gonna be a blood moon. Corsair shirt. So yeah, you pay. If you don't pay taxes on money donated, you're stealing. You're breaking the law. I pay money on, pay taxes on all the stuff I'm supposed to pay taxes on. So I think this is just going to be a turn to restore balance to wipe the creatures plus make them discard. So like I'm going to draw up to 6 cards. I'm going to go down to 5, down to 4, down to 3. So if I go Temple Garden, Yeah, that's actually exactly what we do, Tom Don. We just take extras out of my wife's check every pay period. Yeah, we want to draw phase it, right? Yeah, we want to draw phase it. We messed it up last time, so I'm gonna get a green source with this though, is why I'm talking about it. So we're gonna grab a Temple Garden here. I'll put a stop on their draw step. We'll draw for the turn. Borderpost. Drawing Borderpost makes me want to wait a turn. Can I wait a turn? I feel like I can afford to wait a turn since I drew a Borderpost. So the Borderpost lets me have less lands in play. This also lets my opponent extend out onto the board a little bit too, which is fine. So if I hadn't drawn this, I was going to draw step the Violent Outburst into Restore Balance, but because we hit this, I'm going to get to wipe out one, possibly two of my opponent's lands, which is good. Oh, they don't have any more lands. Well, that's going to be extra good for us then, right? And I can even diddle this into play. So then I'm going to put a stop on their draw step. So they're going to go down to one land. They're going to lose both their creatures. They're going to discard down to 3 cards, which is just great. Haven of the Spirit Dragon is cute. All right, so let's do this now. So my opponent's going to lose one of their 2 lands. They're going to lose both their creatures. They'll discard 3 cards out of their hand. And next turn, we're going to play Nahiri. Wait, they kept the red source? Sure. Yep. Resolves. Maybe they have 2 bolts and they're gonna double bolt our Nahiri. I think I'm fine with that. I think I'm fine with that, right? For those of you that are enjoying the stream and enjoying this time slot, I'm going to be streaming during this time slot every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, moving forward between now and the end of the school year. So between now and the beginning of May. Well, they could end step Bolt Nahiri, untap Bolt Nahiri, right? All right, sweet. Well, we're 2-0. Thank you everyone for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hogan. I'm a full-time TCG player, content producer, meme miner, whatever you want to call me. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing on Twitch. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. If you have Amazon Prime, you automatically get Twitch Prime for free if you link those accounts, and Twitch Prime allows you to get a free subscription to a channel of your choice every single month. So if you enjoy my content, that's a way you can support me with no additional cost to yourself. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hogan PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anoronics and you. Anoronics would like to remind you at the very least to make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it lets you know when I go live and with what. I always put the name of the deck that we're playing on a given day in the stream title so you can get notified on what we're playing. And if you can't catch a deck that we're streaming live that you really want to see, because I don't steal other people's music while I'm streaming, 100% of my streams get archived to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hogan. I break them all up there deck by deck so you can watch just the decks that you care about on there. After I sign off for the day, I go and I hit publish. You could find them all there. At any rate, we are 1-0 start in our Modern League. Hey, Tron Dragon. So how much for a stream in the owl costume? If we hit that 2K goal, we're going to do a 12-hour stream in the owl costume. If we hit that goal, we're going to do a 12-hour Owling Mind stream in the owl costume. Yeah, of course it's going to be in the costume. Come on now. Come on now. It wouldn't be funny otherwise. I think this hand's fine. It's got Leyline in it, which is nice. You have a date set. It will either be on March 31st or April 1st. I have to talk to my wife. I don't schedule long streams without confirming with the boss. Happy wife, happy life for those of you that have never been married before. Always check with the boss before making important decisions. I feel like we need more stretch goals. I feel like this is enough stretch goals. I'm not sure how many more owl-related things I can do. A man has a breaking point, chat. I never know what the schedule is. My wife hides it in her phone. 30 years, it's a long time. Christy and I will be married 5 years come April. We are intending to get owl costumes for the entire family, and we will hoot out a picture of them when it happens. So we intend to get owl costumes for the entire family, and we will hoot out pictures when we have them. I grab a mountain here, cast this As Foretold. I don't have a green source yet. We are going to be setting up for a draw step one though. So next turn we'll fetch Temple Garden and then draw step Violent Outburst. No, Bamonte doesn't partake in the memes. Bamonte is like anti-meme. It's very sad. But I loved my As Foretold opponent. Why would you replicate my As Foretold? That's like anti-fun. So during my opponent's draw step, we're going to go ahead and cast this Violent Outburst. So they'll have 7 cards in their hand. They'll lose 2 of their lands, both of their creatures, and 3 of their cards in hand. We're going to get to play a Jace the Mind Sculptor next turn and sculpt their minds. Who's excited to sculpt their minds? I'm excited to sculpt their minds. We're playing the same list of Howling Mine we played a few days ago. No, we're going to be trying a lot of different variations of Howling Mine. A lot of different variations of Howling Mine. Basically, I'm taking notes on what feels like it works and what feels like it doesn't work. And we're going to be playing lots of different variations, trying to find an optimal or least bad configuration. We're going to get an owl emote. Once I get the costume, we're going to take a picture of me in it, and that will be your Hoogle Hoot emote. No, I think this is fine. I think just emptying cards out of their hand is acceptable. It's a similar amount of X for 1 regardless. There's also the potential that like they could play more cards out and then force me to discard. Although I guess discarding the Emrakul is not the worst. Yeah, we have an As Foretold in our discard pile actually. They replicate it. Whoa, no plays is so good for us. That's so good for us. Yep, blue. So the Jace can't get bolted here, but it can get Bloodbraid Elf. So I'm going to go ahead and be conservative and Fate Seal myself. Ardent Plea. I shouldn't have played my land, huh? I'm probably in for Ardent Plea, because it gets to kill any creatures of Bloodbraid Elf they put into play this turn. Jace Storm. Let's put this back. Oh, Gargadon's just like the stone nuts, right? Gargadon's just the stone nuts. So oh, actually, I'm gonna get to discard. So I'm gonna Gargadon, sack my Ardent Plea, and then like kill all their lands. Yeah, that's great. Okay, all right, hold on, chat. I understand what I need to do. I just need to click through it. Okay, so we're gonna put this back. And we'll put this back. No, wait, am I going to have enough cards to discard? I think I might have to put this back. This is probably a concession here. I'm gonna play this. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So I am gonna have to discard. No, because I'm putting 2 back. I'm not gonna discard. All right, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna suspend this. Oh, and the cards I put back are gonna do this. Are gonna do it with this. Yeah, that's fine, because this is gonna cascade past them. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. So now I do this. And in response, this is why the Gargadons are in the deck, for those that didn't understand why Gargadon was in the deck. We sacrifice our lands to the Gargadon, so now my opponent's going to lose all of their lands, and I'm going to have a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Nice Jund deck, opponent. Alright. The Cascade clears the Jace straws. Yes, it does. It rubs the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. Alright. This is probably a Dismember matchup. What do you think? Do we think it's a Dismember matchup? Good luck junding us out with no permanence. Ain't that the truth? This deck's really powerful. Yeah, Dismember seems okay. I just don't know what I want to cut. Is Gideon of the Trials not good enough? I guess Gideon, Andrew did throw his in. He did. He came in and said, God damn it, and threw his money in. Is this Gideon? Is this a Gideon matchup? I feel like Gideon might be the cut. Maybe it's not Detention Sphere because they have Abrupt Decays and stuff. Although we kind of stress their Abrupt Decays, right? Thassa's not a non-bow with Restore if she's not a creature. She's often not a creature. It's always a Chad matchup. I think it's a submit. Yeah, that's fair. I definitely think I want the Monastery Siege. No, I don't want Simian Spirit Guide. I want a higher density of stuff. Higher density of action cards. And like Monastery Siege helps me find more action, which is nice. The Gideon uptick does make them commit on board. That's true. I'm gonna cut a D-Sphere. I think grid is too narrow. Seems okay. I'm kind of hesitant to mulligan mostly functional hands with this deck just because like there's so few. There's just so few lands in the deck that like you're gonna have a lot of unkeepable 6s and even unkeepable 5s. I don't think I'm supposed to suspend this. I think I'm just supposed to hold it in case I hit a Restore Balance or an As Foretold. That's not bad. Gotta be constructive, Colby. Grid shouldn't be in the 75 because gotta use your words. Gotta be specific. Don't just tell me or whoever submitted the deck list they're wrong. Give constructive, precise feedback if you want to give feedback in my chat. I'm always open to learning new things, but just saying this is wrong and you should trust me, it's just like that doesn't help anybody learn. The way to help people learn is to be specific with your feedback. No, we're not going to play around Blood Moon. They probably don't have Blood Moon against us. I'm going to crack both these fetches and put this Monastery Siege into play, I think. Definitely want a blue source. Do I want a blue source with one or both of these? I think it's... God, this is close. We're not going to be able to cast Violent Outburst if we draw it, which kind of sucks. I guess I could just get Hallowed Fountain, Sacred Foundry. I definitely need a Hallowed Fountain. We definitely need blue. That's not optional. This is probably supposed to be Temple Garden. I think we have mildly... Actually, we have more green than red, right? Yeah, we have more green than red, so this should be Sacred Foundry. We have more green than red border posts. I'm going to cast this using the cons mode, so we get to loot every turn. Yeah, I agree, Gundog. Which is kind of why I'm having fun playing the Ollie Mine deck. Like, it almost certainly is in tier 1, right? But, like, there's definitely room to, like, work on and improve it, it feels like. This is gonna bin second Monastery Siege here, I think. Alright, so we're bidding that. No, I think that's too narrow. And also, you, like, want them to have cards in their hand, generally speaking. I think I just have to Detention Sphere their Goyf so I don't die. Doesn't feel good, but I think it's our play to win line. I'm gonna bin the island in case we draw As Foretold. Yeah, maybe I should have just, like, gone to 4 and killed this, just, like, hoping to hit one of my Cascade things. And that's gonna be all she wrote there. Let's head to the next game. We did, Tumos, we did. We did, in fact, hit it after 2 streams. The funding in the meme community is very strong. The meme community does not dick around with funding the memes. Yeah, this hand's super good, right? Has Leyline, has Gargadon, has a border post. Yeah, but then the Liliana's ulting, and we're just gonna lose to the Liliana ult. Because remember, our restore balances don't deal with their Liliana ult. I am wearing the owl suit to the open. That was the $1,500 goal, which we crossed today. Well, we 10 out of 10 just turn 3 them here, right? We're not playing this deck to not do it. So again, this is what the Gargadon's in the deck for. We sacrifice our lands here to this. Then we cascade into the restore balance. Hey, Murex with that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. Thanks for sending your Amazon Fund money this way this month. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here, because this is an enchantment. It's not an instant. Yes, this is it stays on the battlefield and gives my creature exalted. Yeah, get turn 2'd, opponent. So the opponent was going to have to lose their entire board plus discard down to 3 cards in their hand. So they decided that wasn't worth their time. All right, easy 2-0 restore balance deck looking Looking strong. Looking strong. I don't think the opponent had to necessarily be salty there. They were just recognizing that they were pretty heavy unlikely to win that game, so they were just moving on with their life. Remember, this isn't a tournament. We concede games and matches early all the time here because you just get to jump into another match right away on Magic Online. You don't have to wait an hour for the next round to pop. In a tournament, you can and should make your opponent go through the motions and kill you every single time. On Magic Online, you're just wasting your own time. Just hop into another match. The 3-2 dream is alive and well. I enjoy the optimism. I enjoy the optimism. Why is Hallowed One miserable? We have 8 sweepers in our deck. Why is Hallowed One bad? Can you explain? I don't understand why Hallowed One would be a bad matchup. Looking deck list to deck list. God, the Fry emote came out so well. The Fry and the Ghost were such good additions. The Fry and the Ghost were such good additions. Yeah, we have 4 Violent Outbursts and 4 Ardent Pleas. We have 8 Cascade cards, and Restore Balance is a sweeper. I mean, this hand is clunky because we're missing a color of mana, but like, if we hit a fetch land, we're in a very good spot. If we hit a fetch land, we're in a very good spot. Yeah, if you want to play this deck and you're working on a little bit of a budget, I definitely think the Jaces are ideal to have, but you could certainly replace the Jaces with like 2 more Nahiris and some other Planeswalkers in there. The mountain makes you cringe. I've got a bunch of big, beautiful mountains in my binder. A Johnny Vengeance. Yeah, that seems sweet. Oh, I should update the MTG bot plug. Did he plug recently? He did. Sorry, I was messing with the bot. Sorry about that. Please jank like mana barbs. We did get the 1500 deck, yo. We did in fact. Another Jund matchup, it looks like. So, ooh, some kind of Traverse Jund. So we're looking for mana sources here. Ideally, we hit a green source. Borderpost would be insane for us. Green Borderpost would just be the nut. That's a green source. All right. Do I want to get... Yeah, I'm going to get Gideon down first here. I'm going to go ahead and just, like, fetch my Temple Garden and, like, play Lad Chad out here and plus him on the Tarmogoofy. Ye old Lad Chad. When we were playing the what's it called deck the other day, the Gideon Tribal, we had what? We had Lad Chad, Rad Chad, and Dad Chad. That's what we were referring to the Gideons as. By waiting on the Violent Outburst too, we might get a land like this and some extra creatures out of them as well. Yeah, likely 3 or 4 color Traverse. Street Ray seems to indicate Death Shadow more likely than the 4 color version that DeCandio was playing. Dad Chad is 5 mana Gideon. Gideon Jura. Yeah, the black-white mid-range deck, it felt really good when we played it. I think that's one of the decks that's going to stand to gain some of the Dreadbore. That's rude. That's one of the decks that stands to gain. Well, that's quite fantastic. Huh. I guess I could just Jace unsummon them, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna get Jason to play here. I'm just gonna Jason unsummon this. Unsummon your Tarmogoofy. And then next turn, I can go Borderpost, pick a basic up, and then Violent Outburst. This sucks if they go land Bloodbraid Elf, kill my Jace, but if they don't go land Bloodbraid Elf, kill my Jace, I'm really happy with my position here. I guess they could also go Culligan's Command, shatter your Borderpost, shock my Jace, which would suck. Yeah, that's bad for us. I guess if I rip a blue source, I can play this Jace out. Yeah, that's a Death Shadow. That's fine. As Foretold. Huh. Yep, so I'm going to go ahead and play this, pick this up, play my land, play my As Foretold, cast Restore Balance. They'll lose this, they'll lose a land, they'll lose 2 cards out of their hand. That's pretty good for us. We unfortunately don't have double blue to cast this Jace, but it's not the end of the world. If I sent a bunch of mismatched white bordered islands to your P.O. box, would you play them in the Owl deck? Yeah, probably. Of course we're locked on the Owl costume. Did you doubt the power of the Twitch meme community? Gate crash should be sad, Chad. You generally pick cons. That's in there to like get some velocity going through your deck. Man, is this deck good? Like, we've played against other real decks in this league, and, like, we've just been dumpstering people. Like, this deck's felt really powerful. Hey, Reaper Gecko, with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for sending your Amazon Fund money this way this month. As always, subscriptions are the best way you could support what I do here. Looking for a blue source. Greater Gargadon. Well, now we're just going to take away all their toys, right? We suspend this, and then during their draw step, we're going to kill their board and make them discard down to 1 card in hand. Is this deck good? Is this deck good? I feel like this deck might actually be good. It's incredibly powerful and complete dogs and others. I guess. I just feel like we're playing like only 2 Chad. It's her 7 Chad's Light Hogland. Oh no, this lets them abrupt decay. This does let them abrupt decay the As Foretold. This lets them abrupt decay the As Foretold. So I should have just done this on my turn. I was so focused on getting another card out of their hand that I definitely exposed our As Foretold to. It's modern. Every deck's a 3/2 deck. We're gonna shatter this, make me discard. I think I'm actually okay with that. I'd like to keep my As Foretold, ideally. Wait, they're returning their Death Shadow to their hand? Do they not understand how this is about to work? So they're going to discard down to 1 card in hand. They're going to lose their board. We have a Gargadon on 6. We have an As Foretold on 1. We have a Jace in our hand. I think Crackling Dune is modern playable sideboard card as an answer to Bogles. It's okay. It's just expensive. 3 mana is just a very expensive... 3 mana is a lot of mana in Modern. It is a lot of mana. I mean, this is probably a play to win line. Like, if they hit a fetch land or a shock land and get to play Death Shadow this turn, we could be a turn slow. Yeah, like if they hit a Black Source here, we could be in trouble. That being said, now we're gonna have to put Jason to play next turn, so we're probably out of the woods. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have held that to clear my Jace Brainstorm. The reason why I didn't hold that to clear my Jace Brainstorm is because I'm an idiot. That's, let's just clear that on up there. There's no strategic reason to not do that, other than I'm an idiot. As Foretold, cast any spells. As Foretold, cast any spells. I'm gonna cut the Monastery Sieges and bring in Dismembers just to kill their stuff, I think. I don't think we're struggling to close that game out. I think we're in a perfectly fine spot. This Jace card is too good. Dear WotC, please ban. Dear WotC, please ban. The Jace is too strong. This mana curve is just perfect. Doesn't exist. These are technically 1 mana spells, okay? The border posts are technically 1 mana spells. Thassa helps find you gas. We can also very realistically turn her into a creature. Would you ban Jace or Mox Opal first, right? So long, Mox Opal. Ain't nobody gonna miss fast mana. Alright, some people would miss fast mana, but still. We got an As Foretold to 15 on this stream before. We got it to 16, right? That Sultai deck. 1,100 people on a Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We're going to be playing Modern the remainder of the evening here tonight. We're going to be going until about, I don't know, 5-6 more hours here this evening. I think this hand is okay. This is kind of close, I guess. The fact that I don't have any of my combo cards yet, but I have the Borderpost. I think I'm going to keep this. Again, I'm kind of inclined to keep most hands in this deck that are playable on 7, just because, like, we have so few actual lands in our deck that you're going to have a lot of unkeepable 6s. Yep, the ban list. Yep, mods, links are enabled. Be an adult. If you post bad things, you will be treated accordingly. How viable do I think Restore Balance is? I think Restore Balance's biggest issue is related to the fact that it catches flack from Affinity and Lantern sideboard hate. I think if Affinity and Lantern weren't decks in the format, this deck would be probably tiered, honestly, and it might be the reason people played Stony Silence. But I do feel like this deck overall has legs. But for me, this is fanfic. What I have to wonder is, do I count as an official MTG cosplay if I show up to the open in the owl costume? This streams needs more owls. We're gonna play owls next. After this league, we're gonna fire up an Owling Mind League. I'm gonna be playing. Don't worry, even if we don't hit the $2,000 donation goal for the 12-hour Owl in a Costume stream, we're gonna still be playing the Owling Mind deck, because I need to find my favorite build of the deck to play at the Open. The mirror match with this deck, that does sound obnoxious. We hit Ardent Plea too, so like a way to cast Restore Balance is what we were missing. Like we have a Greater Gargadon too. Tarmogoofy, 3/4 Tarmogoofy. I think I'm just passing here. We are 2-0 in this league, and we are up a game in this third match. We opened the Owl Fund Saturday night. We opened the Owl Fund Saturday night. What's the donation cap for the stipulation? You have to hoot loudly at your opponents whenever you win a match. Dismember doesn't kill Tarmogoyf. Good thing to note. You are correct. Dismember does not currently kill this Tarmogoyf. Alright, so... I'm actually going to cast this Thassa, I think. Make a Temple Garden here, just so she gives us the ability to, and this is what Thassa does. Thassa gives us the ability to kind of control the top of our deck a little bit once we've comboed, so that way we can reset ourselves back up better after the fact. Rev Van, thank you for the bit. Waiting here is a touch dangerous because it does expose our border post to potential artifact or enchantment removal. We know they have at least one land in hand. Opponent is smart. They're pacing this out pretty well. Okay, second threat means we're definitely getting them next turn. Leyline, don't want that. Gargadon, yep. Alright, that's a border post. I mean, that's actually good for us, right? So go ahead and do this, pick this up. So I'm gonna have a land left over. If I draw step this, they could abrupt decay one of my border posts, but I get an extra card out of their hand. Is it worth draw stepping it to possibly get abrupt decayed? What do we think, chat? Is it worth draw stepping to possibly get abrupt decayed? I feel like it is, but I'm also kind of greedy, so like, nah, it's probably not worth it, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna cast the Ardent Plea now. I think that's greedy. Yeah, I need my mana to win this game, right? Because, like, they're holding lands. So, like, they're going to be able to continue to play a game of Magic. Hey, Bolt Boy 232 with the $10 donation. When Owl is next. Thank you very much. Cast Restore Balance here. They're going to lose their board. They're going to discard one card. Please let ZDP and Patrick be commentating in Milwaukee. I'm not actually sure who is. You should be able to look at SCG's website and find out who's commentating there. So hopefully Thassa is going to be able to find us some more lands. Also worth noting, we're only 1 green or red source away from Violent Outburst getting to do stuff. Sounds like the toddlers are getting excited upstairs. You need to at least top 8 so they take their picture. Do not want another Greater Gargadon. Again, looking for lands. Perfect. Yeah, that's just like the stone nuts, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. So, like, if they put another creature into play here and play a land, I'm just going to fetch a mountain. They're surgicling my restore balance. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess I just let that happen because, like, they could just float mana here. I guess I could fire it off and make them discard a card. Oh, does that let us stack our deck? No, they're random. They're random. Yeah, I could just make them discard a card. I could make them discard a card. Well, I could sack my land to the Greater Gargadon, but the problem is they're going to get to put a threat into play that way, and I'm only 1 land off of casting this Jace. So I'm only 1 land off of casting this Jace, so I kind of want that. Maybe we'll play some Arena. Again, like, just like real formats don't exist on Arena. So it's like, why are we... Like, what am I even doing? Yeah, but they can put a creature into play. I guess maybe I'm supposed to bend the lanes here. I don't know. This could go either way. How do they beat Garg next turn? Is it next turn? No, I can't do this next turn, so I can only sacrifice 3 things. Should we find a... I really didn't want to shock there, but maybe I'm supposed to get the source for Jace. It really, the more they describe Arena, the more it feels like I'm not their target audience. It really, no, you can't sack Thassa. It's artifacts, creatures, or lands, right? Yeah, okay, I know what my card does. Yeah, I think I maybe should have fetched blue for Jace. I don't know, there's also a downside to, like... Well, I needed the land to cast the Violent Outburst. That's not an option. But normally, yes, you can fetch, retain priority, and then Violent Outburst in response to be up a land that way, basically. That is a line that you are able to do. If we hit a land or an artifact next turn, we can floop the Gargadon into play, which is nice. If we get a blue source, we can just play Jason on summon whatever they're playing here. That trades with Gargadon, though, is the problem. That doesn't do anything. I'm at 7. Oh, it doesn't trade with Gargadon because we have Exalted. It doesn't trade with Gargadon because the Gargadon's gonna get Exalted from the Ardent Plea. Wilson Nidva with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you. Oh, I can make it unblockable. I can make it of course I can make it unblockable. Thank you, chat. Arena's not for people like us. If you're watching a Twitch stream, you're probably not the target audience for Magic Arena. The target audience for Magic Arena is, like, I agree. Magic, for all the signs of what they've talked about Arena being so far indicate that Magic Arena is the next Duels of the Planeswalkers, right? It's gonna be a pump and dump, just like get you to spend your money here, we'll throw it away in a few years. Like, that's what it feels like to me. It doesn't feel like it's something for super enfranchised players that are interested in playing, you know, Modern and Legacy and Cube and stuff like that. Seems pretty good. It's got a Leyline, it's got a Borderpost, and again, just like pretty incentivized to keep any mostly functional 7, just because your number of lands will give you unkeepable 6s a lot of the time. It had haste because that's how Suspend works. We did drop a game. We dropped a game against Jund. It does suck that we have 5 mana sources and don't have 2 blue. We only have 1 blue source here. We can never lose to Bogles. So this is actually a touch awkward. We don't actually have a second fetchable blue source off this Arid Mesa, right? Which I think that's going to be my first piece of deck building critique. These should probably be Scalding Tarn so you can get double blue for Jace easier. I have to think about that a little bit more, but I'll be right back. I think I need to help with Jake real quick. Sorry about that. The babysitter wanted to take the kids outside, which was a-okay. I just had to help her find their coats real quick, because I did not leave those out, because it didn't occur to me that it's almost 60 degrees out, so they could go play outside today. This is, people were talking that had played this deck before in chat, and were saying it feels really strong. They were saying these counter magic based decks are going to be more difficult for us. I guess that makes sense, because we got to try and play through remand with our restore balances. The babysitter is in no way, shape, or form ever going to be involved in this stream. There's not any amount of money that we're going to expose normal people to Twitch chat for. That's just not fair to them. They don't know what they're getting themselves into. Oh, Twitch chat. Oh, Twitch chat. The weather has been so messed up lately. It's like almost 60 degrees today, and we're supposed to snow again later next week. Wait. Oh, they're destroying. Wait, they're dealing 2 damage to themselves, destroying one of my border posts? Deal. I guess I could have cast this last turn. I could have just like tapped 3 lands and put this into play. Maybe that was worthwhile. We are currently 3-0. That's a Detention Sphere. Yep. Let's just take their Jace out of here. Yeah, I tweeted the deck list that we're going to play earlier today, and you can also find other variations of the deck list on my Stream Decker and my YouTube channel. Another Culligan's Command. Rude opponent. To be fair, global warming is poorly named, right? For people that are below average intelligence and don't understand that the nomenclature global warming actually means global climate change, it's confusing and scary, right? Like, when we say global warming, what we actually mean is global climate change, right? Like, it affects in both directions. Global climate change is more descriptive, right? Of what's actually happening and occurring. Look, Lad Chat is here. Found a Violent Outburst, you say? Well, we'll discard this Emrakul. Tough decision there. So I'm gonna shock this in, and then I'm gonna border post off of this. Let's not get into the details. I'm a firm believer in that it's not fantastically descriptive. All right, so in response to this, and this is why I shocked this in, I'm going to cast this Violent Outburst, right? And they're going to lose half their lands here. I'm going to cast this while I don't have counter magic up before this goes back to my hand, because I don't want to have to discard. Yeah, so let's cast this Violent Outburst. Titan Shift or Burn. You should play whichever one you like playing the most. Out of those decks, I think Burn's probably the most powerful, but they're all reasonable. So they're going to lose 3 of their 6 lands here, and they're going to lose their Snapcaster Mage. Hopefully this is enough to put them on the back foot that, like, Lad Chad and Jace can take over. Honestly, the Monastery Siege is going to punch the clock and go to work here, right? The Monastery Siege is going to punch the clock and go to work, because it's just going to let us filter through all of our garbage. Opponent took the Leyline off the table, which makes me think they have more discard spells in their hand. So we can't cast the Jace, but it's the more powerful of the 2 cards we have. The current Owl total is $1,532. At $2,000, we will get a 12-hour Owl stream next week. All right, blue source, please. Untap blue source. Give me an island. Give me a blue fetch land. All right. Am I just replaying this Leyline? I think I'm just replaying this Leyline. This means they can't snap Thoughtseize me, which is nice. I don't agree to do streams more than 12 hours. It's not fun. It's tiring and it's miserable, and I have a wife and a family, so they depend on me to like be a functional contributing member of the house some number of hours every day. Again, the mana base in here is kind of because this doesn't actually fetch a second blue source. Are there only 2 Arid Mesa in this deck? There's 3 Arid Mesas. Yeah, I feel like some number of those should be Scalding Tarns because we have this double blue card in our deck. I'm just passing here. I could make our opponent discard 2 cards, but that doesn't seem particularly great, especially considering we'd have to sacrifice a land while doing that as well. Yeah, this is a donation deck list. And I glanced at the mana base, but like in decks like this that have like pretty specific mana bases for like, what's the best way to phrase it? For specific reasons, I really didn't want to, I just kind of wanted to assume it was okay and then play with it a little bit before making adjustments, because like making adjustments into like really specific decks like this that it had to do with border posts, like it's very easy to mess it up because you don't understand some of the finer details the deck has. All right, so I think at this point, I'm willing to trade a land for 2 of their Snapcaster Mages and a card in their hand. So I'm gonna have to lose a land here, but it'll kill their 2 Snapcaster Mages and they'll have to discard a card. Again, just like playing through counter magic. Choose 3 lands you control. We'll sacrifice the rest, so I'll pick these 3. Where's the Owl deck fall between competitive and beam? 100% beam. J Muscle Man with the $30 donation. Let's reach that stretch goal. Hoogle Demock, Hoogle Owl. Should it be Hoogle Owl or Hoogle Hoot for the Owl emote? I feel like Hoogle Hoot is funnier. But I'm undecided. God, are we gonna win this match too? It definitely feels like we're a favorite in this game, right? I'm sure we're about to get dumpstered now that I said that, but I feel like we're ahead right now. This could be a Jace of their own. It should be Hoot. Okay. Oh, Pia and Kira Nalar. That's really bad for us. Especially because I discarded this Ardent Plea. I guess I'm playing... They can't actually bolt this Jace, right? So I'm going to play this Jace and I'm going to Fate Seal myself. We're digging for another Restore Balance effect. Should we get in the bottom of your deck? Yes, I think I would. Boris Wizard. So what's the end game to these donations? How much for you to legally change your name to Hootland? Asking the important questions. Thank you for the bits. Yeah, I wish maybe I was supposed to discard this Plains earlier and keep this Ardent Plea as a backup. I wasn't expecting a second PN Kara Nalara, for being honest, though. I guess I get a lot of looks here, right? I get a Draw Step, a Loot, and a Jace Brainstorm, but they could have counter magic at this point as well. As Foretold is pretty good. 2 months, baby. I take it you already played the Owl deck and it was a hoot. We played the Owl deck before. We haven't played the Owl deck yet today. We're going to play it. We're going to play it later today after this league. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub there, Border Walker. Thanks for re-upping your fun money. I do appreciate that. Inner GG Plus, you need to refresh your browser page and then hit send. So you have to manually tell it to send it out once you resub. Am I ditching Thassa here? I think I want to ditch Thassa because the Flooded Strand lets me clear my Jace Storm, and like I'm casting the As Foretold to try and restore balance anyways, right? Quillman with the 4-month resub. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. Well, I assume that Thassa is getting countered, right? Well, I guess if I assume it's getting countered, like, what am I... Maybe I should have led on that? Well, the Thassa's not gonna, because the Jace is gonna go away, right? I don't know what I'm doing, chat. I don't know what I'm doing is the answer. Hey, Pie Guy 3693 with the 4-month resub. I asked earlier, but do you think non-cord Kiki is a power level to be competitive? Yeah, Modern's a format where there's infinite things that are competitive. There are just so many viable decks in the format. It's actually my favorite deck in terms of things that have felt competitive so far. So we've only seen one Cryptic Command out of them so far, which leads me to believe that we're playing into a Cryptic Command here, which feels kind of bad. But next turn, we could draw any of our Restore Balance, our Cascade effects. All right, well. Do this, I guess. I didn't put Balance back in my deck because I want to cast it with As Foretold. Logic not. Okay. This lets me clear my Jace Brainstorm, so we get 2 looks at a Cascade card next turn. They're going to put Jace to 0, and then put us to 10, and this will put us to 9. Grab Sacred Foundry here. So long Jace. We can also just draw a Restore Balance naturally, since we have As Foretold here. Greater Gargadon, that one's not very good. We're getting pretty close to dead here. We're getting pretty close to dead. Yeah, Milwaukee should be fun. Milwaukee should be a real good time. The Leyline's kind of keeping us in here, right? So we get 2 more looks at it next turn. And I guess if they don't have a counterspell here, if they're firing this up just to race, we actually can take all their stuff away, right? Like, we sack our stuff to Gargadon and then just take all their lands and their creatures, so we get 2 shots here. You get a draw plus a Monastery Siege. That's really unfortunate. We got counterspelled, chat. If we would have played the Thassa, we would have gotten counterspelled. He did end up dying here. Oh, geez. Did I miss that? No, we don't have enough stuff, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. All right. Whew, I definitely didn't consider that. You can't sacrifice enchantments to this, chat. This is artifacts, creatures, lands only. I didn't count to think about that, and I definitely should have, but that wasn't a line. That was not a line. Confirmed not a winning line. Did not have enough permanence, but thank you for pointing that out. It's definitely something I should have thought of. When I got this Monastery Siege, Gideon of the Trials seem kind of bad. What the fuck does this card do? That's really funny. So this is just a counterspell, right? This is just a counterspell, right? What are you doing? You had chat lethal. This is modern, chat. Every deck is a 3/2 deck in modern. Every deck is a 3/2 deck in modern. The turn they logic knotted my Restore Balance. I agree. I could have played it the turn. Oh, Ricochet Trap's supposed to be in my deck. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely supposed to be in my deck. I don't know, I'm supposed to cut. A Gargadon? Seems fine. Gargadon's kind of a trap for us because it, what's the word I'm searching for? It, if we sacrifice our lands and they counterspell us, we get kind of boned. No second land or border post. This hand has a Leyline and a border post. It doesn't really matter what we do with that because we're fetching it away. And again, that game was really close, especially considering the fact that, like, our mana base kept us from casting our Jace for a long time. Like, if we'd have been able to, like, if any of those Arid Mesas would have gotten us another blue source, we'd have gotten Jace down, and we probably would have buried them pretty quickly. That's actually really funny, a really funny idea. If you could sacrifice enchantments, just do a Leyline Gargalith stream. Alright, yep, Hallowed Fountain tap. We're gonna get to curve Monastery Siege into Jace here, ideally. And again, the Monastery Siege is basically in this deck to play cons mode, just get your draw discard on every turn. You can put it on dragons against burn in case you don't have a Leyline out, but it's generally here to just be a loot engine for us. Generally here to just get our loot on. This is, if you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time TCG player and content producer here on Twitch. I stream 5 days a week generally. I'm going to be here Monday through Wednesday from 3 p.m. CST till about 10 p.m. CST. So I'm going to go on for another 4 or 5 hours here this evening. If you're enjoying what you see, make sure you hit that follow button. I am going to be in Cincinnati Rossum. It's going to be my first paper tournament in almost a year. Almost a year, long time. I figured I'd show up and spew a little bit. It's been a while since I've spewed in person. I'm going to spew and spew well. Assume this is eating a counter, but like something we play is eating a counter at some point, so might as well ship it in. And my second will be, that's true, I'm gonna be in Milwaukee as well in an owl costume. Cincinnati's the team event, so I will not be, just so people understand, the Open this weekend in Milwaukee, I will not be in an owl costume. I'll be playing a team event. I'll be playing the Legacy seed at the team event because nobody else on my team wanted to suffer through Legacy. What's the stretch goal for you to be able to act like an owl? I don't know if I can commit to that one. I think the 2K for the long stream is going to be the last stretch goal. We're going to get the wife and kids owl costumes though too. There's going to be a Hoogle family owl photo for sure. I do know what I'm going to play. What am I discarding? This card's pretty bad now, right? Play this Borderpost, play this As Foretold. Oh, the As Foretold's a good bit worse. I'm kind of sad we lost that first game since we got our combo piece surgical this game. Feel like we're gonna have a harder time closing this one out at this point. Although, like, maybe this Siege can grind us through. The Jace is kind of scary, though. We get a 12-hour stream plus bingo cards, owl bingo. So we definitely know they have a counterspell from their sequencing last turn, because they could have snapped Serum Vision on their turn, but instead they chose to end step Snapcaster Mage so they could hold Disruption up. I don't really have a deck. Hey, Wax Papers. Time to renew my not getting timed out subscription. Thank you for re-upping your support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Land Nauseam is my favorite deck to play in Legacy. It's really, really kind of fun and obnoxious. And Grixis Delver is my least fun deck to play against because it's just so much better than everything else that, like, when you're playing anything else, it just, like, doesn't feel good. Oh, I guess I just get to kill this, huh? Can we win this game? How do we win this game? I feel like I can't. Just pack it in and get to match 5 here. The first game, so that was a tough. The Jace was dying. They had a creeping target. The Jace was dead. I'm always hesitant to look at a match like that, where we had that extremely long game 1, where we had a lot of back and forth decisions, and say, I made every choice right this game. I definitely, like, lost and couldn't do anything about it. So, like, there were almost certainly points in that first game where we had better percentage plays. And again, like, if our mana had been marginally better, one of the mistakes, and I feel like a lot of people don't consider this a lot of the time, one of the potential mistakes we have is a deck building mistake, potentially. You know, if these Arid Mesas could get more blue sources for our deck that has double blue spells in it, we would have been much farther ahead in that first game and probably would have taken it pretty easily. I don't know, Guru. I think it's a good start, though. I think you have to start somewhere. Details on how the donation decks work are here. If you have any specific questions, Juicy Jellyfish, after clicking that link, feel free to let me know. Oh, this hand is so close to being amazing. It just doesn't have any border posts in it, though. This hand's pretty reasonable. Just looking for more lands. That is not a land. This can't fetch basic mountain, unfortunately, and we have to fetch a basic in order to put border posts into play. All of the people who promised to put up donation money have put up the donation money. So all the people that said, if we got to X point, I'm going to donate Y, they all donated their Ys. Nactals for life. I think that is Craig Westco, actually. I don't know that for sure, though. Uncertain. Wall of Omens, yep. Thassa, God of the Sea, sign me up. So, looking for a red source here, so we can have a Violent Outburst or two. What's going on, Kyoshine? Yeah, I agree building a deck. That sounds likely. All right, what am I discarding here? Probably Greater Gargadon. Yeah, I think so. I think I want to keep these Violent Outbursts as a redundant combo piece. We have turned on Thassa today. I messaged our opponent in chat and said, I feel like the Nactals you've promised your life to are sad about your current deck choice. And they responded with, mistakes were made. Oh. See what our opponent has going on here. Likely some kind of black-white mid-range deck. Probably a little bit more on the controlling axis of the spectrum, since there's a set of the wreckage over here. I think I'm pinning the Outburst at this point. No, I'm gonna pin this Leyline. I think I want to keep the redundant combo pieces again. I don't know. That's close. I feel like that could go either way. I feel like we're kind of behind the 8 ball here, right? Bottom that. That's an Ardent Plea. That's castable, I guess. I guess this kills their creatures and 2 of their lands. It just gives me something to do with my mana this turn. Like, puts them behind if I can get this Jace into play. I'm aware Lily can't ult through Leyline. I was just worried about them following up with a 1-mana discard spell and getting to take one of my Violent Outbursts away. I'm aware of how Liliana interacts with Leyline. And maybe I was playing too scared there. I just felt like if I was hitting the mana, I was playing the Jace anyways. But maybe that's wrong. Hopefully he gets greedy and fires up Gideon to attack me this turn. And then I draw a land, play Jace, and then kill their Liliana with Thassa. Would be ideal. Would be ideal. So hopefully this gets feisty and tries to kill us. And then they don't have a path, and then this kills their Liliana. They could have another blocker here too, which would suck for us. Okay, so this is bad for us because it lets them know that they need to plus this on Thassa. Christy is gonna get an owl costume. I'm getting them for the kids as well. So I think this is a pretty easy plus Gideon on here to protect their Liliana. Yep. Yep. So this can't deal damage. I think I'm just plussing on myself here. Violent Outburst. Doesn't really do anything, right? Doesn't really accomplish anything. It kind of kills the Gideon. It's like, it doesn't if they keep a Liliana, though. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom that. I guess this protects Jace from Gideon attack, potentially. I don't know here. I guess I should have kept the Leyline. I guess that was a mistake in hindsight. I don't know. Just like, the Violent Outburst seemed like it was a card we really needed. Oh, this is a good line. And now they get to fire up the Gideon and attack the Jace. Okay, so... yeah. I was overvaluing Leyline in the matchup because... Use your words, chat. Use your words. Let me know. Be specific. All right, so these are actually great, right? I get to go ahead and put this back and put this back, and I get to return this to my hand. I get to play this. I get to play Chad plus on their Chad. Just like have the great Chad off here. Your Chad shall not pass. Why would I concede? Why would I concede? They didn't ultimate their Liliana. The Chad Cold War. Oh god, somebody stop the Chad on Chad violence. Chad on Chad non-violence? Does this count as Chad on Chad violence or Chad on Chad non-violence? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what is this? What constitutes what's going on here? I'm not sure I understand. Am I brainstorming with Jace or not? Probably. I guess I could start plussing the Jace. Because, like, I know what's on top of my deck right now. Yeah, I'm going to scry the Monastery that's on top of my deck to the bottom. Yes. All right. And then Chad's going to plus on Chad. Nahiri. Their Chad is white knighting for their Liliana. Here's some celebratory pennies for reaching the owl costume. Get hyped for that deck tech. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get the Jace plus since I want to clear away the top card of my deck anyways. Oh, I think it might have actually. I'm not sure offhand. This Chad on Chad violence has to stop, opponent! Think of the Chads! Think of the Chads! Think of the Chads, opponent! Won't somebody please think of the Chads? Alright, so we're looking for a restore balance effect here, right? None of those are them. All right, your move. Yeah, Nahiri attacks for 15. If they hit a land, they could settle the wreckage the Emrakul. If they hit a land, they could settle the wreckage the Emrakul. I'm looking forward to having a hooting good time on camera. If I loot away the land with Nahiri, I'm just redrawing a land that's on top of my deck. All right, divvy him up. They could just do Nahiri versus here. If they Nahiri versus, I bin the Nahiri, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you choose the pile you want to sacrifice. What if we draw... Oh, we know the Emrakul's not on top of our deck. We know the Emrakul's not on top of our decks. We know we're not. Yeah, then here he's actually going to be lethal. I feel like we keep the Nahiri and win too. If they have exactly land settle the wreckage, we just like both have no board. If they have heroes downfall, like you got me. No, we know there's two lands on top of our deck. We know there's two lands on top of our deck. Well, I mean, they still lose the game because the Gideon's gonna get annihilated. Did you ever consider that your Gideon's gonna get annihilated? I'm pretty sure that was a troll, so I'm gonna give them a timeout. No, Emrakul can't be targeted by stuff. Emrakul's real rude. Man, are we gonna do better than 3-2? I don't want to count our chickens. I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch. That was smart on their part to make the Gideon emblem and see if I mess up. Was smart. Do I want Dismember for killing Chads? Dismember kills opposing Chads. Now this is a competitive league. This is a competitive league. Do we have Owling Mindless? Of course we have an Owling Mindless. I feel like I want Dismember. I kind of feel like I want Monastery Siege, but I'm not sure what exactly I want to cut. No, the emblem is not a permanent. Does not count as a permanent. It exists in the command zone. The Owling Mindless is on my Twitter. It's on my general stream decker. All right, so what are we doing? I think I want these cards, means I need to cut 3 cards. Pretty sure the ley lines are good. They stop Liliana ultimates. They stop targeted discard. What do I want to trim? What do I want to trim? No, you don't want a Simian Spirit Guide in grindy matchups. In fact, that's why the Spirit Guides are in the board. We're hedging grindy matchups game 1s with Leyline. Thassa seems bad. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. The Thassa seems not stellar. Trim one Gargadon. I like that. I think this seems fine. Let's do that. We're gonna need like a big book of owl puns, right? Just a big old book of owl puns. Just use them all weekend. This hand is great, and again, you want to basically keep any range of keepable 7s with this deck, because the low land count means you're often not going to have keepable 6s. Brecken Sky, here's some more dollar dues to roll around in. Can't wait for Hollow Bingo with $8 worth of bits. Punpedia.org/owl puns. Disenchant. Woo. When did Stone Rain get downgraded to 2 mana? That's rude. We are 3-1 in this league, and we are up a game in this last match. We did just get Stone Rain done turn 2, however, though, so not feeling quite as hot. Landy hype, question mark? Even Zach's confused. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. Discard spell here. I personally prefer green black Tron, but mono green Tron definitely has better results, so I don't know that I'm right. I like the utility that the black cards offer you out of the sideboard. We did get the $500 donation in finishers, Tom, so those all came through. Path Mawal, are we gonna have a Dad Chad come down next turn? This feels like I'm pathing myself to get to Dad Chad. The fact that they left Path in makes me happy that we boarded out Thassa. Makes me happy that we boarded out Thassa. Is there a reason to not suspend? Casting the restore balance at the end of suspending it is not optional. So I don't think I want to put it out there. White Sinkhole, white Rampant Growth. What's with the incessant power creep, Wizards of the Coast? Why does white get everything? Yeah, let's grab a mountain here. And then next turn, if they don't have a discard spell, because we drew this fetch land, we can actually Violent Outburst inside of combat to kill Dad Chad here. What's the verdict on the Hooters outfit at an open? Owl face paint to match the costume. I need to find an official owl makeup person. What can't white mana do? Papi-chan! Papi-chan! Yep. Wall of Omens. So we're gonna go to 13 here. We'll loot next turn. Bin one of these restore balances. Why is it Bell over Dictate? Is Bell just better? Bell is better at triggering the Owl card, but if you're not playing Netsuk, you're better off just, oh, that's kind of a beating. Well, I guess we've been these border posts now, because I don't actually have a way to get this off the table. I do get to Violent Outburst inside of combat here. It's going to require me to discard some cards, but that is what it is. Rad Chad. Ally of Zendikar is Rad Chad. There's Lad Chad, Rad Chad, and Dad Chad. And if you want to see all the Chads get together in a deck similar to what Wesco's playing right now, we did that on a YouTube video last week. YouTube.com/Jeff Hogan. Played some Black-White Super Friends. 9 Chads in the deck. If they have a discard spell here, it is what it is. How much for the sexy owl costume upgrade BDP with the 413 sub? I think that's actually the one Christie's gonna get. I think that was the one she ended up picking out. Oh no! So this is a slick line. They are using this to get a peek at our hand to find out if it's safe to attack with the Gideon Jura. And they're gonna find out that it's not. That we have a Violent Outburst. If it's literally the top tweet on my page, I'm not linking you to it. I'm gonna go. I think it's 2 tweets down. How many tweets down is it? It is 2 tweets down. It is. No, I'm a liar. I'm a liar. It's 4 tweets down. Go to my Twitter and scroll down. Trust me, you'll be a better person finding it yourself. Yep, so there's a good line on their part, like I said. So they get to go ahead and just do that here. So we're basically just like waiting on Detention Spheres at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch this just so I don't have to fetch Shock later for it. I'm gonna grab the Temple Garden out here. Get to loot here. This is a 6/6, right? Rude. I'm gonna bin one of these. We basically just want to hit land drops here at this point. Do I want to cast this As Foretold, actually? Do I want to cast this As Foretold? If I cast the As Foretold, it gets to start building up counters. I think that's worth it. I think it's worth taking this hit here. Oh, we shouldn't bin balanced, likely boarding more than 1 surgical. That's fair. That's a good assessment. Yeah, I like playing this, even though it gives them an attack, because there aren't a ton of mana sources in this deck, so even with drawing 2 cards a turn, it's going to take us a while to get to 6 mana and 7 mana to be able to make a play plus hold up Violent Outburst. You think this is worthwhile? As Foretold can cast anything. As Foretold casts all of our spells. You know what the best way? We actually don't ban people that often anymore on this channel, but the easiest way to get banned is to get timed out for doing something and then to come complain that you got timed out for doing something. Ooh, Nahiri can exile Stony Silence. We actually do have it out to that. That's interesting. No, As Foretold does make you respect timing restrictions. I guess I'm just bidding this Ardent Plea. I don't really want to cast any of these things yet, though, right? I don't think so. And I don't want to cast Restore Balance out of my hand to kill my opponent's creatures, because then I'll have to discard down my hand size because my opponent only has 1 card in their hand. I have no idea why they didn't attack last turn. Completely unsure. The costume is the one the bot links. Oh, maybe they thought As Foretold meant we could cast Restore Balance? Okay, yeah, I could see that being a mistake. Yeah, probably, show. Probably. Do I even want more lands at this point? I really don't, right? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna... Am I gonna bin this land? I'm gonna bin this Jace. I'm gonna play the land. I'm gonna pass the turn. And then next turn, I can cast a 4-mana Planeswalker off my lands, and then use As Foretold to cast Violent Outburst, which is great. So I'll be able to play Jace plus Brainstorm next turn. No, we lost the last match to Grixis. We lost a really close game 1, and then post-board, we got our Restore Balance and Surgical, just kind of ran out of gas in win conditions. Shambling Vent's kind of annoying. It's a Greater Gargadon. Well, now we're basically just gonna get him, right? I just bin this Nahiri. And then I'm gonna fetch shock a red source here. And I'm gonna cast Nahiri. I'm gonna suspend Gargadon. I'm going to plus her to see if I draw a land. And then I'm gonna sack all of my lands in response to casting Restore Balance with this As Foretold. Yeah. So this is over here. So I'll cast this Retain Priority, use this to sack all my lands. They're going to lose all of their lands. And then we can use the As Foretold to cast the Violent Outburst on their turn so they can't kill us. Oh, I should have played the other As Foretold. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Like, we're mostly on a build our own adventure book at this point, but your chat is correct. That is technically correct to play the other As Foretold first. Sure. Oh, because I'm gonna have to discard down to hand size, right? So, like, I'm losing this now? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And I have to keep Violent Outburst here, because it keeps me from dying to Gideon Jura. Oh, if they have a disenchant here, we could die. Oh, they just have any instant we die? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. If they have any instant we die. I think this is worth the risk. If they just had any instant, they could have made us discard our hand. Yeah. So, pass the turn here. Surgical Extraction will also beat us because they'll be able to take the restore balances out of our deck. But I think this is the play to win line. The only mistake I made was not playing the other As Foretold out. That was definitely a mistake. What's going on, Iron? Gideon's got a lot of counters on him. Good thing that Gideon doesn't have an alt, right? I mean, we have a Chad in our own deck. Our deck has a Chad in it. We're dead to a discard spell. Dead to surgical. Opponent commenting that they had outs of discard spell and surgical there. I was like, yep. And I asked them why they didn't attack the turn I played As Foretold. We need a Chad command for a list of Chad Dabes. Yeah, I don't think I want to sacrifice Nahiri this turn. I'm pretty sure that I want to push her to 10. Pretty sure I want to push her to 10. Thought we had a Chad command. Apparently we don't. All right, Emrakul paired with his good friend, the Greater Gargadon. Trigger. With their powers combined! All right, sweet. Our meme 4/1s All right, that's exciting. Got us a QP and some fatty chests and some play points. Thoughts and feedback. This deck was a lot of fun, and it felt genuinely pretty powerful. Like the things that it had going on. There's a lot of good synergy, and just like it's doing that like busted modern thing, right? My big piece of feedback is that these should probably enable us to get blue sources of mana. I don't know if that means we want a Steam Vents in our deck. I don't know if that means we want these to be Scalding Tarns. My gut says I just want these to be Scalding Tarns, but I'm not 100% sold on that. The sideboard, I like that the sideboard has a lot of plans in it. I don't know that I love Ghirapur Aether Grid. I'm not really sure what that card is for, but I really feel like the rest of the cards in our sideboard like have a pretty good purpose. So for those that are wondering, someone mentioned Simian Spirit Guide. I actually really like the decision of playing Simian Spirit Guide in the sideboard of this deck, now that I thought about it a little bit more. Basically, what this configuration of the deck has done is it's moved the Leyline of Sanctities into the main deck to be hedged against decks like Jund and the Fair decks, as opposed to having Simian Spirit Guides in the main deck to push the pedal to the max. So when we need to be able to push the pedal all the way to the floor, we can board the Simian Spirit Guides in, and I feel like the format is more fair than not, so I really like this inclusion. I really kind of like the split of Planeswalkers. I wasn't sure if 2 Nahiris was going to be good, but I think that was pretty great. I like Gideon. Gideon was really good. Gideon was great. Just like the fact that he makes them extend into your sweeper as well. If you're just joining us, you didn't get to watch all of that league. We played all 5 matches. It took us almost 2 hours. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Later tonight, probably about 4.5, 5 hours from now, I'm going to hit publish on there, and you'll be able to find the entirety of all the matches that we played with this deck on there, along with all of my other stuff.